Now onto the next section of the budgeting unit. We're going to be talking about why it's actually important to budget and why everyone, no matter what age or part in their career or life, should be budgeting. First off, only 47% of Canadians use a budget, but 90% say they have more debt compared to 5 years ago. So if we really analyze this, the statistic in front of us, half of Canadians are using a budget, but 90% of Canadians, so 9 out of 10 Canadians, have more debt compared to 5 years ago. So what this means is year by year over a 5-year period, whether it's credit card debt, mortgage, car debt, any type of debt, 90% of Canadians are increasing their debt. Now, an easy way to combat this, we'll go over more later in the workshop, is simply budget. Just know how much money is coming in, how much money is coming out, figure out the balance, figure out whether you're negative every month or you're positive every month. Figure that out, and this will really help you throughout your life, whether that's reducing debt, increasing the amount of money you're saving, or increasing the amount of money you can invest. And then down here, we have Canadians owe $1.78 for every dollar of income they earn. So what this means is if we really analyze this, for every dollar of income every Canadian makes, we're actually negative 78 cents. So this is just because a lot of Canadians are carrying credit card debt, mortgage, they just have so much debt that they're negative for every single dollar they make. Now, this is super important to know, especially at a young age, to avoid, having large debt, follow us throughout the rest of our life, especially bad debt like credit card debt where we're just paying extremely high interest. Why it's important to budget continued. It's a good way to keep track of our expenses, know how much money is leaving your account. Now, you'll have extra money in those times of need. If you actually budget effectively, look at it every single month. And if you have a surplus, that means you're making more than you're spending. You can save that money up, put it into account, whether that's for a vacation or a sudden car repair or just anything, that you might have to use, let's say, on a rainy day. What are your needs and what are your wants? This is the most important part to distinguish, especially at a young age. Wants are something that we want, whether that's the new iPhone, new AirPods. Needs are something we actually need to survive. So whether that's food, water, rent for our shelter, it's really important to distinguish the difference and put your money towards your needs. You can always treat yourself to a want every once in a while, but make sure it fits within your budget and you're still able to, you still have a surplus, so you're still saving some at the end of the month. Lastly, find areas where you can spend less and save money. Whether this is calling, let's say you're with, Rogers for your phone plan, call them, tell them you're planning on leaving. They'll most likely offer you a discount, whether that's, $10 to $20 a month. Save that throughout 12 months. That's more than $100. You just save that off a simple, 20-minute phone call. There's so many ways that you can spend less and save more money. So definitely look for those when you're budgeting. Now, different methods of tracking money. I will go over online banking, emergency fund real quick for everyone. So for online banking, did you know that most online banking apps have a built-in budgeting tracker? So for me, I have CIBC. It shows me all the money I made that month and all the money I spent that month. So it's kind of an automatic budget that it does for me. Now, it doesn't give you the most statistics and the most information, but it's a good general rule of thumb to see how much you're spending and how much you made. Lastly, we have an emergency fund. This is really good for, a desperate time of need, whether that's a sudden car repair or you have a house and your roof is needs to get repaired. Put money to an emergency fund every single month. When you need it, it's going to be there and you can use it for whatever that situation is. Now, for the Mint budgeting app, I'll quickly cut to a video that shows everything about the Mint budgeting app.
How do you keep track of your financial life? Statements? Spreadsheets? Scribbles? It's time for something better, something easier, something smarter. Mint is a free, easy way to manage your money that empowers you to take charge of your financial life. Get started with a simple one-time setup. Add your bank, credit card, home loan, and investment accounts. Mint quickly and securely pulls in the information and organizes it for you. That's it. No more bookkeeping. Mint keeps it all up to date. You can see all your accounts in one place with one login, anywhere, anytime. Mint uses bank-level security and alerts you to any suspicious transactions so you can rest easy. Mint shows you where your money goes. Your expenses are automatically categorized so you can keep track of how much and where you're spending. With one click, you can create a budget based on your spending history, make adjustments, track your progress, and find ways to spend smarter. Mint reviews your financial picture and makes personalized recommendations on ways you can save. You get all the information you need to make smarter decisions and plan for the future. Mint. It's the best free way to manage your money. Sign up and get started with Mint in less than 5 minutes.
Now moving on to the next part in this unit, we're going to talk about goals and how to actually set them. So how do we actually set goals? Now the first step is we want to actually think feasible. So we have a couple examples here. So first one is save $50 a month by buying groceries and cooking at home compared to eating at restaurants. Feasible, can do, instead of going to the restaurant every other day, just buy food, make it at home, whether that's making a sandwich or making a quick soup instead of going out and buying something more expensive. And compared to that, we have become a millionaire in the next year by only eating at home instead of eating out. Now, if we really think that, is that really possible? Could we go 365 days without eating a single meal out? Considering we most likely have a social life, friends, family, this is probably not feasible and most likely won't happen. And becoming a millionaire solely by not eating out, realistically, it's not going to happen. So that's not a feasible goal. So that's not what we're looking at. Next, we're looking at start working part-time to save up a portion of your pay for university/college or traveling or a bucket list item. Definitely extremely doable, very feasible. A lot of us listening to this right now, whether we're in high school or university, are most likely doing this right now, working part-time, maybe not to pay for their education in the future, but whether if they want to buy a bucket list item, whether that's like a new iPhone, AirPods, or even just traveling in the summer. Now, our unfeasible goal is going to be saving every penny to go on vacation at the end of the year. Now, saving every single penny of your income, if you're working part-time, let's say 2-3 times a week, is it really possible to not have any expenses? Even in high school, you still have somewhat of expense, whether that's taking yourself out for lunch or, the bus, anything like that, or even going to the movies with your friends. So saving every single penny is not necessarily feasible because you're going to be spending somewhat of your income at one point. So these are going to be our feasible goals and our non-feasible goals. Now I'm going to quickly cut to a video that explains what SMART goals are, and I'll leave that video to explain exactly what that is.
Regardless if it is professional or personal, we all struggle sometimes to achieve our goals. Many times our struggle is not because of a lack of effort, but rather how our goals have been structured. Anytime you set a goal, or if you find yourself struggling while working towards a goal, keep in mind the word SMART. SMART is an acronym that can be used to help evaluate and add structure to your goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-bound. SMART begins with asking yourself the degree to which a goal is specific. This is arguably the most important part of establishing or evaluating a goal. The less specific a goal, the more difficult it is to determine how long the goal should take to complete or how to measure success. Consider the difference between a goal to get healthy versus the goal to lose weight versus the goal to lose 10 pounds. The goal to get healthy is much less specific than a goal to lose 10 pounds. The next question to ask, how is the goal measured? What determines success? Some goals may be best measured by a simple yes or no, such as the goal of climbing to the top of a mountain, while other goals are better measured by using metrics such as the goal to lose 10 pounds. The key to measurement is making sure that in whatever way the goal is measured, it accurately reflects success. For instance, if you do not have access to a scale, then measuring weight loss will be difficult and less accurate. An alternative measure may be to track how many inches you have lost around the waist. But to what extent does this accurately reflect the goal? Without access to a reliable way of measuring weight, we may want to consider buying a scale or restructuring our goal. Actionable is not asking yes or no, but how will the goal be achieved? What is our action plan? Do we have the resources and capabilities required to achieve success? If not, what are we lacking? Well-designed goals provide clarity of action. If the actions required to achieve a goal are unclear, or there are a large number of actions that need to be taken, we should consider breaking down the main goal into manageable, actionable sub-goals. In isolation, any single goal is relevant, but in life we most often are in the process of pursuing multiple goals. A common issue we face is having too many goals at the same time or pursuing the wrong goals. With this in mind, we need a mechanism to help us monitor our goals to make sure we are pursuing our most relevant goals at any given moment in time. One technique is to place goals in a matrix that looks at effort required versus perceived value of achieving the goal. Not always, but most of the time we will want to focus our energy on low-effort, high-value goals. Another technique is to use the Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule. Ask, which are the 20% of goals that will provide me with 80% of my return? The last thing we want to make sure is that goals are time-bound. By including a specific date by which a goal should be accomplished, it helps provide incentive and allows us to monitor progress. Consider the difference between the goal to lose 10 pounds and the goal to lose 10 pounds in 10 weeks. Simply by including an element of time, we can now calculate how much we should be losing each week, and if after 5 weeks we have only lost 1 pound, we can revisit our action plan. Be wary of any goal that is open-ended, such as the common goal to learn a foreign language. Last, it is important to reinforce that goal setting is not an event. It is an ongoing process of action, evaluation, and revision. It is not about lowering goals or standards to ensure success. It is about recognizing goals are dynamic because life is dynamic. We do not live in a static world. Life happens. A goal that is relevant today may be irrelevant tomorrow. When using SMART, stay flexible and motivated by setting aside time to reevaluate your goals on a regular basis.